All right, let's move on to today's analysis. Bitcoin on the weekly time frame. If this current candle closes exactly like this with a long lower wick, we can take that as a very strong signal for a future price increase and pump in Bitcoin. Because this candle shows us that sellers gave it all they had, but the buyers pushed it back up so strongly. And if this candle also closes green, that would be an even stronger signal. It shows that buyers were able to win this week against the sellers if it closes green. So this candle is very important for us if it closes like this, because above we had a resistance here, and as you can see, this candle has broken that resistance. But if this candle, which is closing in about 6 days, ends up closing below this resistance, it could show that the breakout was fake. But if it closes above with a long lower wick, it shows that the breakout was real. And we might see a sharp move up toward $130,000 or maybe even a little lower or higher. On the daily time frame, after a sharp price increase, Bitcoin is ranging a bit above the resistance, which is a good sign. The more it ranges above this resistance, the more it shows that the resistance has truly been broken and isn't fake. So how can we trade this? We can enter a position with the breakout of this resistance that exists here. This big candle went up with strong buying pressure, but the sellers hit back hard on the buyers. With a breakout, we can enter a position. These two candles are very important for us, these two. What do they show? This candle shows that sellers weren't really present in the market that day and buyers gave it their all. But the fact that after this big green candle we get a red one, that's not a good sign and might show that the buyers quickly gave up and exited the market. If the lower wick stays and the body comes up and it closes green, that's a really good sign for us, especially if it closes above the resistance. If we analyze Bitcoin on the 4-hour time frame, for a while now because of the daily range, it's also been ranging on the 4-hour. Everything I said before, we can open a long position with the breakout of this resistance and closing above it. But if Bitcoin decides to correct and this daily candle comes down and covers this wick, on the 4-hour, we can open a short position with the break of this line and hold the position down to around this level. There is potential for more downside, but we must keep in mind that for now, Bitcoin is leaning more towards price increase than a decrease. If we want to open a position today, the 4-hour time frame might not be the best for us because it may not give us a position today. If we want to open a position today, on the 1-hour time frame, Bitcoin was in an uptrend, but then made a lower low and then went for a high. If this high closes lower than the previous high, it indicates the trend has changed and we can open a short position with the break of this low. But if it goes up and closes above the previous high, it shows the bullish trend is still continuing and we can open a long position with the breakout and close above that level. Ethereum on the weekly time frame, if we want to analyze, Ethereum at these lower levels was a great opportunity for a long position, where I personally opened a long position. Here, after a downtrend, we're seeing a candle with a small body and long upper and lower wicks, which could indicate a trend reversal. This candle has a specific name, but let's not get into that because the name doesn't make a real difference for us. What matters is understanding the candle. What does it show? It shows that after a sharp drop, seller strength is weakening and buyers are entering the market. That could be a sign of a trend reversal. Now, one more thing. If this candle at the end of the downtrend has a long lower wick and a short upper wick, that's an even better sign for a trend reversal. On the daily time frame, Ethereum had a pump here and just like Bitcoin is ranging. though this might not be considered a real range on daily. If we check the 4-hour time frame, I want to show you something. You can see it's really ranging here. So on the daily, it may not look like much of a range, but it actually is. Now, where can we open a position? We can open a long position with the breakout of this upper level. Now look here, based on what I've said so far, here, after a sharp price increase, we had a slight correction, and now we're getting candles with small bodies, short upper wicks and long lower wicks. This could indicate a trend continuation. We can open a long position at the breakout of this price level. If you want to enter earlier on the 4-hour, you can open a long position with the breakout of this rectangular range, which aligns with the daily breakout zone. If Ethereum comes down and Bitcoin decides to correct sharply, you can open a short position with a breakout below here. But I personally don't recommend opening here because it could be a fake move just to create liquidity. So in my opinion, don't open here, though you should analyze for yourself to decide what's best. Ethereum on the 1-hour time frame, you can open a long position with the breakout of this level. Why didn't I say this zone? Because here there are two fake emotional candles. When a candle goes up this much and crashes just as hard, these are fake candles, meant to trap people and create liquidity. For example, people who opened positions here lost quickly, so these two candles are fake and we don't consider them. Because as you can see, it broke, dumped, broke the high, dumped again. If we had opened a position based on that high, we might have already hit stop loss, even with God's help. So we wait and open a long position on the breakout of this level to catch a good profit. Solana on the weekly time frame. If you want to open a long-term position, it's in a range. If this range breaks, it could bring insane profits and crazy price levels. For example, if it breaks and goes up, we can open a very good long position and expect much higher prices. And when that happens, we'll share the position on Discord, Telegram, Instagram, TradingView, and CoinMarketCap. So make sure to follow all our social media. And one more thing, this area has formed a double top, creating an M shape. It forms a double top. When this bottom breaks, we can open a short position. Now, when this bottom is broken, it becomes a very important and strong resistance for us. If it comes back and reacts to it and drops, we can enter a short position with the break of that bottom. And this shows that our trend has changed. When it comes and makes a lower high and breaks the bottom, we can open that position. Now, if that high gets broken and creates a higher high compared to the double top, it shows that the trend is still continuing, and we can open a long position with the break of that high. Now, in the double top, now we have a double top inside a rectangle range. When this double top forms, it comes down and creates a bottom, then goes up and pulls back to that broken bottom. If it breaks it again, we can open a short position, right? And now this short position coincides with the break of the rectangle range, which can be a sign of a sharp drop. And this is a very good confirmation for us. But because Bitcoin is supposed to pump in our analysis and our outlook for Bitcoin is bullish, such an event for Solana is unlikely. Still, we can consider this setup. Now, if it goes up and breaks the rectangle range to the upside, we can open a long position. Or if we want to be very sure, we can enter on the pullback. Just be careful, it might not even pull back and go up sharply. Now Solana in the daily time frame, if I want to analyze it for you. Right now, Solana is in a very weak uptrend because as you can see, the candles are very small and the volatility is very low, which shows that this uptrend is very weak and there are not many buyers in it. It's merely a correction for a higher time frame like the weekly. And there's a trend line here This trend line exists, but it's not that important for us because the trend is very weak. Now, if we open the volume indicator, we can see that the volume has been decreasing throughout this trend, which is another sign of weakness in the trend. Now, if we want to find a place to open a position, we can do it with the break of this resistance. In the 4-hour time frame for Solana, as you can see, we have been in a long-term uptrend. In the 4-hour time frame, Solana has a resistance here. Guys, there was a resistance here before. Let me show you. There was a resistance here, and over time, it moved higher. If I want to explain this part, these 4 candles that you see are the result of a pullback. What does that mean? It means a support break and then a pullback to that support. For example, if we go to a lower time frame, one broke, pulled back, and dropped. And this pullback is important for us because it's a very important area. These candles are also important for us and can indicate a strong resistance. This is exactly that resistance, just slightly shifted due to a higher time frame. Now, if it goes up and consolidates above that, we can open a long position there. Or if we want to be more confident, we can enter on the pullback. Just be careful. It might not even pull back and just go up sharply. And that is very important for us. And with its break, we can take a long position. Now, those 2 candles, we see a small downtrend in Solana in the 1-hour time frame. This downtrend is also weak. You see the candle volume is low, and in this downtrend, the lines are separating from each other, which indicates that volatility will likely increase in the future. My suggestion here is not to open a position because volatility might cause you to hit your stop loss, and you might enter a trade for no good reason and just get stopped out. So in my opinion, don't open a position here. If you want to open a position in Solana, you can do it with the break of this level. That is, if the price goes up and breaks this high, we can take a long position. In Chainlink, inside Link, we are now in a downtrend, and with the break of 1636, we can take a long position. ARB is the same, very similar, and with the break of this upper resistance, meaning 0.452, we can open a long position. Render is the same. We can take a position with the break of 4.834. TIA is also the same. All 4 are similar because the capital is mostly in Bitcoin and it influences them. ING, same shape, it has a high here, and with the break of this high, we can open a position. It has made a higher high and moved higher. But if we look overall, we are in a downtrend. If it breaks and goes up, it might be risky. So what can we do? Look, in a downtrend, when it goes up like this, we can open a position with its break. But it's better to enter on a pullback and creation of a higher low, because if it comes down and makes a lower low, it shows the downtrend continues. But if it goes up, pulls back here and makes a higher low, we can take a long position with the break of that high. That would be more reliable. SUI is exactly almost like the others. Here we have a trend line at the top, and with the break of the upper high, we can open our long position. This is an important high. Pepe is exactly the same, Bonk the same, Floki the same, STX the same, GRT the same. They're all almost the same, and any of them we want, we can take a position with. The ones I said are currently good, you can open positions with. VET is the same, almost all are the same. AVAX is also the same, TOEN too, all are similar. Most importantly, AVIN here is important for us. Why? Because we have a very strong resistance. As you can see, after the price hit that level, it dropped hard. So this resistance is very important for us. And if it goes above that, and this candle goes up and breaks this resistance with good volume, we can open our long position because this point is a very important resistance for us. It's really important. But let me tell you something, guys. Look, if this candle goes up, we had a very sharp trend before this. After we had that sharp trend, it just corrects with 2 candles. It looks a bit suspicious. It might go up and make a fake breakout. So what do? We wait for it to range here, then open the position. And after it breaks, what can we do? We can also put our stop loss properly below that range. LTC also has a good resistance here that if it breaks and stabilizes above it, we can open a long position exactly like the other coins. And most of the coins, if they go up and stabilize, we can open long positions. XLM is also the same. Hype is exactly the same. Most of them are similar, friends. And don't open all of them. Let me tell you something. Don't open all of them. 2 or 3 are enough, or even just 1. You don't need to open all positions. What matters is to make profit. Guys, if you want me to analyze Forex like gold or euro or whatever you know better in Forex, definitely let me know in the comments. And if you want me to post more videos, if you have any questions or problems in any part or a question in crypto, even outside the topic, don't worry at all. Just say it. We'll respond to you as fast as possible. Follow our social media. You can join our Discord. In the future, we'll do giveaways, we'll run trading competitions. We just need your support so our team can grow a bit more. We really need your likes and subscriptions because it helps us get seen. Definitely, if you can, if you like this video, if it was useful for you, like and subscribe. On Telegram, we post free signals every day, introduce daily hot coins for free, and we also have VIP, which you can join on Discord. If you want, you can pay a small amount and enter VIP, but it's not necessary. If you're satisfied with just 2, 3, or 4 signals a day, you can just use the free ones. If you want to use it better, you can join the VIP too. Definitely, if you enjoyed it, don't forget to like and subscribe. Love you so much. Goodbye.